All the money.
$200 point.
All the money.
Hi, I think Anushka.
So we've been trying to log in for the past 29 minutes.
How are you guys?
This is how never give up looks like. We can still smile after all the money that we paid to YouTube, to Instagram, to promote us. It's still not working, but we can still smile, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes life gives you lemons. You have
And-
soda.
Yeah, soda.
Cheers.
No, guys. So I think we had a lot of issues. That is for sure, and we are enjoying that. To be very fair, apart from my throat, I have issues now with our technical side. So we are getting it fixed. We'll try to connect as soon as possible. I will not touch our AirPods because they were making a bit of issue. Um, uh, is that correct?
Absolutely. I'll just ask if we can share the new link on Instagram as well. Perfectly fine. Hi, guys. Thank you very much again for sticking to us. And you're not going to be regretting. You're going to have lots of information as we promised. We have an amazing presentation which will be covering study in New Zealand. Before you study, what do you need to know? And after you study, what do you need to know? And how it works with the study and work, part-time, full-time. What can you benefit out of your study in New Zealand? What are the courses can give you the advantage over time, not only other students, but over time? And what will be the best opportunity in many cities? There are Auckland, Christchurch, Tauranga, Wellington, cities like that. So there are so many things that we're going to cover.
Sure.
Bharat made an amazing presentation. He made sure that all the areas are covered. So we're going to be talking on questions. You will
Agreed.
be able to answer them right
And
away.
again, if you hear the noises from side, don't worry about it. You have to hear us.
Yes.
I'll try my voice to be as best as possible. And do remember, we are at the time near the mosque, and you can hear the voice in the background. Please, um, we appreciate and we recognize everyone here. Simple as that. And if you can't hear us, please message on the chat box. We are trying to get all the technical things done in the back end to send you the new link. So Kartal, I believe we have a user will be joining soon.
Yes.
I think we continue our chat where we are and what we were doing. So guys, I came Turkey 2 days ago to see that how things are going and how much is happening in terms of news and education. And there are pretty positive points I'm hearing from Qatar. So Qatar, what was 2023 for news and education from Turkey?
New Zealand is certainly one of the best countries in the world in terms of study, and we will be covering all the advantages and all the benefits to study in New Zealand. But I just want to say this: Turkey is not very new to New Zealand. There is lots of visa rejections, and in the past that happened that put students off from applying for New Zealand. However, in 2021, 2022, 2023, all of these applications that we launched through Danishpanam and with the partnership with our immigration advisors and RBS, we have 100% so far approval rate. This doesn't mean that we guarantee anything, but all of these applications that we launched in the past 3 years, they've been all approved, all had visa approval. So what it means, it means that students are going to New Zealand
Sure.
from Turkey as well as other countries. New Zealand opened their doors
Yep.
to everyone after COVID. There are specific courses that specific areas, niche areas that New Zealand needs. And for these, there are study options that anyone can take this course if they're eligible and if they meet the requirements, and they can go and take the course in New Zealand and study. But it is very important to know which course will give the competitive advantage
Yep.
and what are the offers that students can benefit after study, right? And
Sure.
we'll be covering that too.
Agreed. And again, see, from the perspective of New Zealand, in terms of the global market, New Zealand have attracted more than 10,000 students in last 1 year, which is good. the numbers will grow because the borders are now fully open.
Turkey is not more than 30.
Yeah, but again, I can see there is a prospect and there's a positives coming in.
Absolutely.
So for everyone, a lot of people don't know about New Zealand.
Yeah.
And what are the opportunities and benefits there?
Yeah.
So I think we will talk about that and why we feel that Turkish students should go to New Zealand, or students joining from Nigeria or other countries. You're welcome to go into that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll try to share the presentation also to everyone.
Sure.
If that been worthwhile and supportive, let us know if that makes. I believe. Can you share the screen? See the screen? Yes, I can see the screen. Again, if you see something is missing or you need any further details, please keep us posted. At the same time, while we are talking to you guys. So again, Kartal, over to you.
So let me introduce you, and then I think it's less awkward to introduce each other than ourselves. So and as we know each other very well, I think almost a decade we worked together. So Bharat Chawla here is a very humble person, but one of the best people that I've seen in international education, and one of the marketer, only better person than me, I'll say. Speaks itself. So Bharat has been there for almost 2 decades, 18 years experience. He helped students, individuals, to go to New Zealand, and then he arrived in New Zealand, worked for the largest PTE in New Zealand as a marketing director, and he built a team around him. He covered more than 42 countries, recruited almost 4,000 to 6,000 students every year, which he says like 16,000, but I would say way more than that. When you look at what the marketing and the job that you've done, the work that you've done there, attracted many institutions and many universities. It wasn't only about recruiting students or marketing, but also designing the student experience.
Agree.
How more welcoming New Zealand can be, how more welcoming a school can be. With the orientations.
Agreed. I think we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So I think Kartal will never stop talking about me or about New Zealand. See, totally agree that New Zealand is a country which gives an experience. So from our perspective, either it's RBS or Ghanshyam, we want to make sure that we give an experience to a student. We don't want to just send a student to New Zealand for study. We want to make sure that we guide on each. As Kartal introduced me, I'll introduce him. What a good friend. You can see that he mentioned is a sales guru. So guys, I'm not first, I'm second. I can assure I'm following Kartal here. He's a good friend. And again, with Kartal, he has gone through the journey by himself. So he has been a student, he has worked in New Zealand, and he's back in Turkey to support other students or other candidates to go. And again, like this is even last month only, we have sent us a candidate, a PhD candidate to study in New Zealand. So there are opportunities. And again, going back to Kartal, I think you tell him he can do anything what you want, but at the same time, he always takes care of his student or his partners very well. And again, I'm very happy that I've been working with him for last decade and supporting him. So he'll be it's a pretty good person to go as a guide to any student. So we'll continue it before we talk about ourselves only.
Thank you very much. So why New Zealand? I think it's the excellent education system. Not only that, but there are very less countries in the world that can have all the universities in top 500, which also tells a lot about the New Zealand education system, quality over quantity. So universities like Auckland University, Victoria University, Otago University, Massey University, AUT, these are all in top 500. When you Google it up, you will see diverse range of study options. New Zealand is not only focusing on one thing such as business, but there's agriculture that you can study, medicine you can study, nursing you can study, engineering you can study and learn a lot. Safe and peaceful, one of the safest countries in the world. The quality. You can also work part-time was during your studies. This is down to New Zealand education system as being more practical than
Agreed.
theoretical. Yeah.
Totally agreed on that. And then again, so guys, I think a lot of people don't know sometimes New Zealand where it is.
Yeah.
I think so. If you know Australia, we are not too far from there. And again,
That's how my story started. I was about to go to Australia, and a friend of my father's, mother of my friend, called me, and she said to me, "Hey, I know somebody in New Zealand. So rather than Australia, would you go to New Zealand?" I said, "Where is New Zealand?" Just 2 hours after New Zealand. I said, after Australia. I said, "That's not too far. I can go then." And that's how it was actually. Most of the maps are forgetting New Zealand, but New Zealand is right there.
So I can very well show that yes, you're not nearby to any country, but if you go around, we are close to US, so there are a lot of flights going around. But again, yes, it's a bit distance from Turkey to go around. Have to have multiple flights in any case. But again, guys, it's a beautiful country to go in.
It takes around 24 hours, but I would say everybody who is on this side of the world, most of the countries that you are stopping over, such as Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Japan, these countries, most of it, you need to check with your flight center or wherever you're booking your flight from. But most of them, they don't require visa. And it's a good opportunity to see another country, another culture, and get to know these countries.
Totally agreed. And again, just to give you a heads up, guys, there is a direct flight from Doha to Auckland. So, which is again a pretty good advantage for students coming from Turkey. Now, this is a New Zealand journey map. We will discuss in detail also what are the options are there, but it will be a more simplified option to go in. So, Kazal, I think these are some points about New Zealand.
Yeah, I think we love facts. This is how we talk about New Zealand worldwide. We don't just make up things. It's all statistics, guys. This presentation is a very good presentation. You should study this, take a lot of notes, and check every single information. You can record this. We're recording and putting on YouTube. Not many people can do that because it's a very sensitive subject. It is changing people's lives.
Yeah.
But if you look at the presentation, everything that we use, it has a reference, which is a key thing. One of the key things that education in New Zealand teaches you. For example, out of all the countries, New Zealand was the first to introduce pastoral care requirements to support and project international students. What does this mean? So New Zealand actually cares about students' needs more than any other country. So pastoral care meaning what kind of difficulties or challenges, obstacles that students will be facing, and what are the institutions, universities, and schools are doing to help those students to overcome these challenges. So this is an incredible subject. And out of 163 nations, New Zealand is ranked second most peaceful place in the world to live. This was Global Peace Index. Look, we could have just used 2010, 2012 because it changes a lot, but New Zealand is pretty much almost always in the top 3. For international work rights, New Zealand is rated first compared to 9 other countries. It's also one of the best in terms of freedom of economy, right?
Yes.
Starting up business and etc.
Yeah. Guys, like we said, Singapore is one of the good countries to start business. New Zealand is in top 5. Again, a good place to set up and start a business. A lot of startups start in New Zealand and they normally either move down to US or Australia because they get more money. Simple as that.
Absolutely.
And it's the water has something.
Depends on what you want. I mean, I like peaceful life. You like peaceful life, and we like to get what we can. This is a salesman trying to sell us some drinks in the street, but we're not going to get it because we're on YouTube Live. So among English-speaking countries, New Zealand is first for preparing students for the future. I always say this is one of the most welcoming countries in the world. So if you don't speak English very much, or somehow you sound weird to others, in New Zealand, actually on the street, people will stop and pay attention to what you're saying and will try to help you, not try to ignore you, which is incredible.
And remember that, guys, we were also the migrants. When we started our journey, we never knew anyone. But 10 years, I believe me staying in New Zealand, and I think Katalia spent 10 years there. A lot of people are there who are there to help you. So someone will try to support, and I believe that's the culture we follow in New Zealand. How we can support and how we can grow.
Again, with the universities, we mentioned that all the universities that New Zealand has in top 500, but also ranked in the top 3%. If you can see some of the universities climbing up really high, really fast pace. I'm up about what 100.
No. So we'll go around with this.
Yeah.
So there are 8 universities.
Yeah.
These all 8 universities are in top 500.
Yeah.
University of Auckland is in top 100. Remaining 4 are in top 300, and then the remaining are in top 500. So again, universities are doing pretty good in terms of ranking. Like what Karthik, last 2 years, New Zealand universities have ranked up at least around, say, 50 points to 100 points.
Yeah.
Some of the universities have been gone up, which is again a pretty good for a small country like New Zealand.
And also some of them are really good in certain, like agriculture. If you want to study agricultural, I think Lincoln
is
Lincoln
there,
is
Messi
one of
is
the best.
there.
Business, Auckland University,
Agreed.
AT,
University of
again.
Auckland is there.
Wellington is very good with law, I guess.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And then see, there are options and there are courses. The best part is that you are actually going to a country which is learn a lot, you get a lot at the same time. New Zealand universities, there are polytechnics which are owned by government. There are around 17 or 16 polytechnics, which has now been merged to become a one super polytechnic with 35,000 students. Now, they offer multiple courses in multiple sectors, which are all funded and owned by government. Now, and the next we have, apart from polytechnics and universities, we have private institutions also.
All competing for you.
I agree.
All competing. Stop counting what New Zealand is tested, but one of the things is transparency. You can type the name of each school and about these schools, about these providers. One thing I need to say, you have probably a lot of questions in your mind. Am I going to get a job? Am I going to be able to be successful in this school? Am I going to be able to get the support that's been promised? Well, guess what? If these providers are failing to serve, failing to meet the promise that they give you, they will be in trouble because NZQA checks them every year. Therefore, all these schools are competing
for schooling students to study, and we get a lot of students. But again, please keep asking questions. A delay in start, or there were issues in start, but we will try to cover as much we can. And I know I can see that program that we call as a level 10 in New Zealand, and when we say they call as a level 9. So it is, again, the terms are different, but outcome is same, or we call as similar, what we have a Commonwealth outcome. So Kartal, anything you want to add that how people take that as a level 1 to level 10?
Yeah, I think I would say starting from University 1, University 2, University 3, because University has 3 years of education in New Zealand. So level 5, level 6, level 7 is covering the university.
Yeah.
And then level 8 is postgraduate. And then level 9 is masters, and then PhD.
Yeah.
But again, with this all information, you can check with us.
Yeah.
You can mail us, you can message us, you can even put it on the comments, all your questions. Our team will be able to help you.
So I think, thank you for some people are asking questions, and apart from buffering, in any case, so there are, the benefit is that when we're talking about these levels will decide what are the options for your residence path. Most of the information is simplified what is available on the immigration website. Now, if somebody want to have details about institutions or a residence pathway, we will talk through it. We will go through it. There'll be a few slides, and we'll be jumping onto residence options. So going around with the English requirement. So Kartal, you want to add on this? How's the English requirement?
I think English requirement is good enough. I think comparison to the UK, when I worked in the UK education industry with universities requiring sometimes higher IELTS, and they're being a bit more strict. But New Zealand's accepting PT, IELTS, and also you can always discuss with your advisor what you want to study, and whether if you want to study level 6, level 7, level 8, level 9, they all have different requirements.
Yeah.
So it should be fine. If you put a little bit of study and a little bit of investment time, you should be able to get the IELTS score that you want.
I think English
language and wanting to go to, let's say, Turkish students. If I need to speak to Turkish students, there are courses such as NZCEL. So depending on the level. So if you study this course in New Zealand and you finish this course, by the time you finish this course, you don't need IELTS. So you have direct entry to the school, masters or level 6 or level 7 want to study. If successful, if you don't want to take IELTS, if you're not capable to take IELTS.
Now, thank you for asking question again. We will let me cover one more slide before we dive into the residence pathway or how many days it took this path under diplomas. And at the same time, they are actually much faster to getting a residence pathway.
Absolutely.
So in the meantime, while we're talking, I'll cover these slides and leave it before we go ahead. In terms of our residence pathway, this is a question coming in. So coming down, somebody asked me that how much time it takes to apply for a student visa. Or see, there you can apply student visa anytime. You don't need kind of
deadline
or not. There are no deadlines.
Yeah, there are some, like with schools that we showed at the beginning, some PTs and ITPs, some of them have several intakes throughout the year. It's all about how ready you are. So do you have the requirements? Do you meet the requirements or not? If you meet the requirements, and if you just need to check the intake date, basically.
Agreed.
And the visa process, I would say, apply at least 3 months in advance, 2 months in advance.
That will be sufficient. 3 months is pretty good.
If we consider now, is there any school having an intake on March? From the top of my head, yes.
Yes.
May, yes.
Yep.
June, July, yes.
Okay.
So there will be intakes starting in these months. So if you are targeting, if you're ready, then apply now. But again, one more tip: whatever you're doing, do not just delete it off and just say, I'm gonna go and apply for a visa. First, discuss with us, and then do a good planning and do a lot of research, and then start.
Agreed. And again, sorry guys, I know it's a buffering, but again, I believe you can watch this recording after we finish, and it'll be posted. So going around on the skilled residence pathways. So there's a very good what you called infographic is on the immigration website, and again we have taken from there too. Now there are 3 different ways for residence options. What we say, one is skilled migrant category. Now again, do remember guys, I'm not a licensed advisor. This infographic is on immigration website, and this is how we are interpreting it. And again, we have licensed advisor, immigration advisor on board. They can help you with all the things of residence pathway. Now, for student visa, you don't need to worry about residence pathways. So going around under skilled migrant category, there are options. The course you study, that course will decide how much points you get. So if you see, if you're doing a PhD, you will get a 6 points. Now, for under the new residence pathway under skilled migrant category, from October, immigration has mentioned that you need 6 points for your residence pathway. So if you're going for a PhD, it means that you get 6 points, which will get you eligible to apply for residency.
Directly.
Agreed. But at the same time, yes, you need to follow the other requirement, what are on the skilled migrant category option, but which are minimum. The most of the major points is the major requirement. Now going down to masters, you get 5 points. You do PG diploma, you get 4 points. You go to bachelor's, you get 3 points. Now a lot of people say that Bharat Kurkartal, how we get extra points? Will you talk about the extra points, how they get extra points, or should you want me to carry on?
No, please. I think this is your area that you really trained.
Been trained or supported by a lot of licensed advisor. See, going around, as and when you get a master's qualification, you get a 3-year post-study work, right? Which means that in that first year, if you can work into a skilled migrant area or skilled work area, you will get 1 point. Now, a lot of master students get a job under the median wage in tier 1, tier 2 categories, or skill level 3 and 4. Again, like I said, there are multiple areas. If you work in a skilled working area for 1 year, you get 1 point, which means that you can be eligible for applying for your residence pathway after 1 year of your study, which means that you study 1 to 1.5 years, you get your 1 year post-study work right or 3-year post-study work right. You work for 1 year in that skilled work area. You get 1 point. You reach 6. You apply for residence pathway.
Question, like if they have previous study experience or about their martial status, do they get any points for that?
See, if they have a previous master's option, they need to go to NZQ and recognize that. But remember that can go into different categories if they want to go in. But if you are under skilled migrant category, you are getting point from study in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, you can apply, you can get your qualification assessment, but then you still need a job to get those points.
Yeah.
So there is a accredited employer work visa is there,
Yeah.
which is again a way that employers can employ you from overseas if they require you. So there are a few areas which can go in, which can go up to the level. Now, coming down to if you're applying for a postgraduate or a bachelor's honors, you get 4 points. Same way, you get a 1-year post-study work visa, you get 1 point. Now, people say that how I can reach to 6 points. Now, question comes is that if employers offer you a job, they can offer you work options up to 3 to 5 years, which can make you an extra year of study or extra year of work, and the more you work, you get extra points coming into it.
Yeah.
So end of the day, we want to see that how much points you can get. So suggestion will be that if you work for 2 years, you get 2 points. If you work for 3 years, you're getting 3 points, which means that after you do your postgraduate, you do your 1-year post-study work, you get a job, your employer can sponsor you. Or alternate option is that you get your postgraduate completed, you go for a master's for 1 year. Because as long as you do your master's for 1 year, you get 5 points. And then you apply for your post-study work, right? So you don't need to go for a master's, depend upon your financials and all. But if your financials are less, go for postgraduate, and then you can apply for a master's when you're onshore. Or again, you can get post-study work right and then move forward. Now again, guys, I always say that it's experience. Please go first. If you're going for study, you're going for understanding how things work there. Residency, if you are eligible to work, if you get a right outcome with the work, you will get a pathway towards your future. Now, again, bachelors get 3 points, the same 3 points for your study and 3 points for your post-study work options. That's what we go in. Any questions till now, please type in the chat box. We'll be happy to answer your questions. So going around, apart from the skilled migrant category, there's a green list option. Now, green list option, wonderful thing. There are certain qualifications or occupations website that if you do these qualifications or you go,
Which is incredible.
Not many countries do that. So exam program, or you do 3-year Bachelor of Nursing, or you go for Master of Nursing, as and when you get a vacation, we will show you that. Or there are more occupations actually. Now, in green list, there is a tier 1, which is straight to residence. There's a tier 2, which is
Longer way.
Which means that, for example, you're going for a teaching qualification in New Zealand, you get a job in teaching occupation, you work there for 2 years, and then you can apply for residence pathway. Now, remember that there is no point system coming here.
No.
You're doing a qualification, you're going for pathway, and you're going around there. But again, there are multiple ways you follow. Every qualification may not lead to a green list pathway.
Yeah.
So you need to be very careful how you go in. Again, we will be happy to do individual say counselings to support you and update you. Do make sure that you are actually following up us on or reaching out to Kartal for further details or discussions.
Lots of people were message about can I become a truck driver? Can I become this kind of guys? There are very easier ways than becoming a truck driver. And as Bharat mentioned, there are things that the green list,
Yes.
Construction, it was one of them. If I'm not
Agreed.
wrong,
Construction is there. There's electrical is there.
Yeah.
Surveys are there.
Yeah.
You can see the list. I've put down the list.
Yeah.
And again,
incredible.
Agreed. If someone is also who want to know that, again, who want to know a bit more detail, yes, please reach out to us. Message Kartal, message RBS. We will direct to it. Now we got a question from one of the listener or one of the person who's viewing. Average course fees in New Zealand. See, the average course fees for masters is ranging between 25,000 to $60,000 per annum. If you're going for a bachelor's, it can range from 18,000 to 20,000 to 25,000. And then again, it depends upon which institution you're going. If you're going for a private college that have a less fees, yes. If you're going for a university, they have a high fees. If you're going for a polytechnic, they have a medium or average fees, which is again can help you. So we represent every institution in New Zealand. We are happy to help you to decide where and how you can which fees you and which can be suitable for you. So remember, New Zealand is not expensive. A lot of people see that it's very expensive. Kartal, tell me what you've been seeing in last 1 year.
I think it's in terms of what you can do in New Zealand, working part time, being able to having that luxury and earning money. I think more you earn, the spending gets easier.
Yep.
But if you're not working, then everything that you count is what you have in your pocket. You know, like, and you're always counting from Ruby or Turkish lira. This is in Ruby. This was so cheaper. It was in lira. It was so cheap. But when you earn in New Zealand dollar, you think in New Zealand dollar, and that's very easy way to get used to a country. Isn't it?
Kartal, I totally agree. Now, when we are on this topic, tell me your experience about how expensive is New Zealand. What's the cost of living? How the monthly cost varies?
I always go with Immigration New Zealand. Monthly cost is around not more than 1,500 per month.
Yep.
If I'm not wrong.
It's kind of that's a cost about when we say as 1,500 is what average cost. But again, currently Immigration New Zealand is saying $20,000 a year, which is around $1,667 a month.
Yeah.
But on contrary, you can live between say $1,200 per month, 2,700 or 2,000. I've seen a student staying in a low cost also.
Yeah.
Because they stay with the friends or they stay in a shared accommodation.
Yeah.
But if you're a single room,
or
it's
outside
expensive.
of city center.
Agreed.
You know, not going for luxury, realizing that he's a student is to save.
You go to Auckland, it's expensive. You go to other cities, it's cheaper. There are much cheaper cities too. I think we have.
And how much do they earn per month if they work part?
See, currently the money is pretty high. They can work 20 hours. Average around 1,400 hours they can work in minimum wage.
$22.
Yes, or
working just weekends in the food market. I had this book called Civilization. It was a sociology book. I used to put my money into that book. My brother was with me. He was like, "Do you have money?" I said, "Just open the book and get the money." So as a student, you know, there are opportunities that you can work. Everyone works in Prime Minister John Key, the ex-Prime Minister John Key's son, was working.
I'll give an example.
Yeah.
Very simple. You can pay the fees, but what we suggest to students that try to earn the living while you're there. And I can tell a lot of students I've done in recently, including people who I know very closely. There are a lot kind of they enjoy while they're working. It's not only you understand how people work, but you make a lot of connections.
Yeah.
And when you make connections, you are actually opening doors for your job or future jobs. 80% of jobs in New Zealand are actually not even listed or not even marketed. They come to the reference. So guys, just before we're going ahead, I just want to show that there are various options here in terms of green list, what you go in. And again, we will be answering a lot of questions as and when you're there and not to answer. But even see, IT options are there in the green list. So and don't see that they are limited. There are a lot, but it doesn't mean that if you're going for a business or hospitality or a culinary or chefing, they don't have jobs. They have jobs too, and they have skilled migrant category options too.
The beauty of other thing is, doesn't matter if you are a CEO or if you're a construction worker. You eat and you drink
Agreed.
in similar places. You train in the similar sort of gyms. and you pay $4.50 or $5 for a flat white, either if you go to Sky Tower or you go to a small suburb in Auckland, right?
Yeah,
Which is incredible.
agreed. So going around with the further, remember that we are interpreting as a very layman understand.
Absolutely.
But do ask your questions if you have, so that we can update you. And again, we apologize for the late start, a lot of buffering coming in. We are trying to make sure that we get good outcome, but again, we are improving too. Again, this is what we were talking about, the master's option. It is hardly $56,000 per annum.
I used to ask for salary increase every 3 months.
Agreed. If you can deliver,
Why not?
sky is the limit. Simple as that. And Kartal has got this answer again. So, or more, after 2 years, you can apply for your agreement residence pathway through those agreements. Now, again, guys, the jobs you need are still around 28.2.
I think the air, I think Bharat would agree with that, and he's been keep talking about this too. Guys, just don't select the study just for sake of choosing something. Just find something. There are so many areas that you can find an interest in, and find something that you have genuine interest in, and that you can follow the path, right?
Agreed.
And because there's so much variety,
Yeah.
like so much variety.
Totally
basically.
agreed. See, and again, we just need to see better. We want to guide you what is the right outcome. Now, the best part of New Zealand is that you get multiple options for individual, for family. Um, I always say that try and test all the options before you just say yes. This again. What we'll suggest is that let's have a Q&A if some questions are there. I know we have answered few, but again, Kartal, what are the major questions? What you're seeing?
I think how long it takes to get offer letter. It was one of the questions that we received.
Agreed.
If you contact our team and provide all the information, they will tell you. For first, obviously, it's about what you want to study and where you want to study.
Yeah.
And we have an interview with you. We talk to you. But once they submit all the documents to us, I think it takes only 48 hours, couple of working days to get diploma offers.
Agreed.
From our end.
So there are institutions which are offering within 24 hours to 72 hours. There are institutions offering between say 1 week to 3 weeks. Universities even are offering between one week to 10 days.
Yeah.
Like University of Waikato, we've been told that they are working on getting offers out in a week, which is amazing.
For example, Auckland shouldn't be your first priority, first city. One school shouldn't be your first priority. I think the presentation itself is incredible. Go back to presentations, study it again, listen to this presentation again on YouTube. There's so many information, so much knowledge, and again, discuss with us. We do tailor-made options for you. We give you at least 3 options, depending on what you want. More than that, you can get lots of research and choose the best for you and understand it. That's the most important part.
I think for all Turkish students today, Kartal is one of the best person to go in. And again, he can talk Turkish, guys. Remember that.
Yes.
Because we have people from various countries watching this live. I've got a few questions coming in. We'll answer soon. So Kartal, can you give a message in Turkish to your all Turkish students? Great.
Arkadaşlar, her zaman sorularınızı Türkçe olarak da sorabilirsiniz.
It is a research based or a faculty assessment. It can go between 2 weeks to 6 weeks. Now, between 6 weeks to 12 weeks, there's a good load of applications coming to them. What we recommend, please look into various options. At least have 2 or 3 options rather than doing for one, and go for it. AUT, University of Waikato, Victoria University, Wellington, they have been doing pretty good, pretty fast in the offer letters, including Messi University.
Amazing.
So I said one question: what is the college for the management program, Kartal?
I think there are a few colleges which are great with the management programs. we were just talking, and I'd like to say hi from here to our good friend Naz as well from NZMA and New Zealand Management Academies. They're running good management courses. They've been doing it for a long time. I myself studied. I was one of the first students of NZMA, New Zealand Management Academies. Studied business there. You give me one.
Yeah. So going to this AI, which is option. It's again you're talking about college. Do remember we're talking about private colleges, University of Waikato, which is a triple crown business school.
Yeah.
If you're doing an MBA, you have got something one of the world ranked school available. AUT is there, so there are multiple options.
Yeah.
So we are welcome you to ask questions.
If you want to go up, scroll up, question. What is residency path? And you covered
I think
that.
we covered questions which are answered. Student, we apologize, but again, we still have a good number of people coming and joining the session. So, because I'll in the last few minutes, because if we finish this live.
Yeah, I think we should give the message why we do specifically New Zealand, because we believe it's one of the greatest countries in the world for a student to go and take studies, invest their money. It's not about, we could tell, okay, go to this country in the world. When you look at the number of people that are coming to live to New Zealand from the UK, incredible country. It was confidence. I always talk about this. It increases your confidence level, and confidence is one of the best things that a country can give you or support you with, because if you have confidence, good people around you, remember, it's one of people around towards how you speak, how you behave. They do not mind whether if you're walking around with a barefoot or fancy shoes.
Don't underestimate yourself.
Absolutely.
The more you are making sure that you are presenting well and you are making good connections, you will get there. Now we have a question came out, can scholarship. See, Shravan, if you can email your details, we can send you the link to that. Manaki scholarships are designed for government to provide students some extra options to multiple programs, multiple universities. There are more scholarships apart from Manaki scholarship. Various universities offer their own scholarship, like AUT, they have their scholarship for South Asian students. When we talk about University of Waikato, there are Vice Chancellor scholarship. Now, what I suggest to everyone, don't apply for scholarship without offer letter. Get the offer letter first, because universities will not open your application of scholarship. They need to see your interest. Are you interested or not? And most of the scholarship ranging are between 5,000 to 50.
Bharat can give you a really good advice on this.
Yeah.
All these scholarships, and you already shared the email. No problem. Our team will be getting in touch with you, and you're in the right place. Bharat helped hundreds of students on this.
Agreed. And then see the scholarships again.